How's it going, everybody? Fear the Dark Wolf here with some more Watcher of Realms. We're going to talk about some heroes. Let's get to it. Okay, one of the things that I don't really like is when they're introducing new heroes, right? You go to the special invocation, right? They're not put in the gallery. So it's kind of, you have to look for information if you want to check anyone out. So you actually have to go to the event and then click on their image to get into their information, right? It's a little annoying, especially since, you know, we have legendary that nobody can get unless you spent like thousands of dollars for that skin, right? But he's in the gallery. I don't know why they're not in there, but that aside, we'll move forward. So this video is going to be about Kineza. Now, she looks pretty cool. She reminds me of Monkey King, like her, just the way she looks, Monkey King from Raid. But, you know, that's just probably coincidence and whatever, but I think she looks pretty cool. Now, when you get into her basic things, before we really get into her kit, her cost is 14, which isn't too bad. She has a 2-block range, which is pretty normal, I guess. If you go to her max attack, it's 5,881, and she's in the Nightmare faction. So if we try to compare apples to apples, right? We'll go Nightmare, and this is one everyone can get. Everybody can get Volca. Her cost is 20, so it's much more. And her max attack is much less, 4,567. She does have some better effects, passive effects, right? But if you're going for someone like an Abomination who you can summon, right? You can fuse him. His cost is 17, which is again a little bit more. 1 block tile. And his max attack is a little bit less than hers at 5,864. But Abomination has this ultimate torment, which gives him invulnerability, and he restores his own HP. So that's what makes Abomination really good. Volca, she has in her A1 a allies revival time is 25% less, that's really helpful in a lot of areas. So that's like her specialty, right? So she has cost reduction and he has invulnerability and self-heal basically. So let's see what Kineza offers us. Now, if you get another copy, you get her key restore 3% per second. So each stack of key, right? Key, upon reaching the maximum number of stacks, it will regenerate 50 rage, right? Okay. So, what is key? What does it do? And how do you get it? So, basic attacks have 25% chance of gaining 1 stack of key. So, basically, every 4 attacks, she'll have a stack of key. Now, this triggering dodge thing I haven't been able to really figure out how that happens. Right? It's just like a chance thing that'll happen. Everything says upon triggering dodge, doesn't say how to. And I don't have her, so I can't test it. I'm not on a forerunner, so I can't test it. But if you trigger a dodge, it's a 100% chance of gaining one key stack. Now what dodge does is when you're being attacked, you become immune to the damage. So basically she's not taking damage when she dodges, which is kind of cool. Her passive attack, 50% damage to one enemy 2 times, and that stacks to what? Another 10%, so 60. Alright. Surging Rage, her ult consumes all ki. So each ki stack deals 105% damage to enemies in range once. After deals an additional 300 damage one time, 300%. So, you know, if you get the full 3 stacks of ki, that's what, 315% damage, and then another 300%. That sounds okay, but I feel like there's not a whole lot here to really make her stand out compared to other heroes, especially legendaries. Her passive evasion has a 10% chance of dodge. Alright, so 10%, I'm guessing, of each attack. I don't know. Every 100 attack speed, it gives another 3% chance to dodge. So if I'm understanding this right, every 10 attacks she should dodge, I guess, right? 10% chance. So every 10 hits, the 10th one shouldn't hit, I guess. And then that can stack to what? To 15. Dodge rate granted. So 15%. And then she can get a 5% after every 100 attack speed. So you have to really build her for attack speed to get any effect out of her. Enhancing the next basic attack upon triggering dodge, making it deal 200% one time. Each stack of ki makes basic attacks and enhanced basic attacks ignore 9% of defense. Okay, so if you dodge, her next attack gonna deal 200%. Each stack of ki will ignore 9%. You can get 3 stacks of ki, so that's 27% defense ignored. It just sounds like there's a lot that you have, a lot of conditions for her to really matter. And let's see, Kismet Bond. So if you have Salazar and her, the damage from her Surging Roar is increased by 100% per stack of ki, 120% per stack of ki. Increased by 120%. So if you have her and Salazar, maybe she'll do okay. But from what this reads, it reads like that I still think there's a lot of conditions, and to getting her first awaken will make her key stacks kind of help her heal, right? It's 3, 100% and stun, and every stack of ki increases speed by 100 after casting Surging Roar. Yeah, so she's pretty reliant on a lot of conditions, and her awakenings to really shine, and awakenings on legendaries are not super common. You know, you have to either hope you get copies or some like from the Dwarven Association. You gotta hope her crystal appears in here, and that you have sacrificed 400, you know, to get her soul stone. But I think, you know, she could be okay. I just think that, especially in the Nightmare Council, there are better options. There are just better fighters. Like, from everything that she requires to get going, there are just better fighters. You have Deimos, you have, like, you know, even Komodo with his bleed sounds better. Gluttony, he has stun, you know, and those are epics. Like, once you get into the legendaries, they're better. You know, all the legendary Nightmare faction fighters are just better. So that's just my thoughts on her. Could be wrong. Like I said, I have not been able to test her because I don't have access to Forerunner, so I can only go off of what I read. And it just reads like you have to have this, this, and this, and this for her to do anything worthwhile. Yeah, that's gonna do it. That's my review on Kineza. I think she looks cool, you know, good aesthetic, and her story's pretty cool. You know, take some time to read it. They put some decent effort in their stories, which I appreciate. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video, and see you guys in the next one. Remember, take care of each other and try to have a good day. All right, see you later.